found you hiding here in the near clear blue.
He's been cited by IGN, The Quartering, Timcast, The Daily Wire, Bounding into Comics, and even Dr. Jordan B. Peterson.
What?
Hey, the Pro Show is on!
Awesome! Let's turn it on.
Guys? Where'd you go?
Morty, let's check in on Ryan Johnson's new trilogy.
Okay.
I bypassed the compressor.
What did you do, Ray?
Son of a... That's gonna leave a mark.
Yeah, he was okay, you know, after 6-7 weeks. Okay? You know, they get over it. Kids are resilient like that.
Yeah. I hate it.
You know, it's the standard, what would George do?
I don't want you here.
So sorry, George, I didn't think it would go like this.
Fly, you fools!
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
Weird.
Stay away from liquor, kids.
I have always liked Cowabunga.
Now that's more like it, Mr. Wayne.
It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward.
The Force will be with you, always.
That's how winning is done.
I am vengeance. I am the night.
That's what she said.
I am Batman.
If I won tonight, I would come home and we'd celebrate. Well, I'm coming home, we're celebrating. God bless you all.
Watch your habits, for they become your character. And watch your character, for it becomes your destiny. What we think, we become.
It's scooping time.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, in just 2 minutes, the lighting at the Magic Kingdom will dim for the performance of the Pro Show. We hope you enjoy and have a magical, truthful time. For the safety of others, please, no flash photography. And welcome to Provision 3D.
Alright everyone, put on your opera glasses. Oh boy,
Keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
You know that you've been taught the golden rule, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you.
Yes, Paul.
Autobots, roll out.
I'm bringing the party to you.
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money?
Fortune and glory, kid. Fortune and glory.
Chicken jockey.
All right, it's time to go to school, son. Come on, get your hands up, man.
Are you okay?
They'll never take our freedom.
From the redwoods of California to the hills of Tennessee to the Rockies and the Sunshine State and Maine with that bright and shining sea. From coast to coast in North America, it's time for your host with the most, bringing you all the entertainment news that should be fun. Ladies and gentlemen, It's the WDW Pro Show! Well, Jonas, I feel like I've been here before. Something reminds me, a bit of deja vu. Oh, wait, we did this earlier today. Jonas, how are you, buddy?
That's right. That's right. We were here earlier today. And for those of you who are not aware somehow of the Pro Show, every Tuesday and Thursday at noon Eastern time. That's 11 a.m. for those of you who are in not Eastern time. And I hear they're coming out with a new time zone that's even farther out from the real world. I don't know how they're going to keep track of them all.
A new time zone, you say? Sounds like Arizona. For those of you who don't know, Arizona is kind of weird when it comes to time zones, but we love them anyway. And yes, it's still Tuesday.
But for me, it was Tuesday.
Let's take extra care to follow the instructions or you'll be put to sleep. And don't forget Taco Tuesday's coming next week. That's the day every rule-following citizen gets a free taco and my love.
Jonas, we are gathered here today and to do a little thing we call Zootopia 2 review. Jonas, we've been waiting a long time to do this. It's one of the biggest movies of the year. We just did Wicked. And for those of you who don't know, we did Wicked and we scored that one. The first Wicked got a 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10. I don't quite remember. It was really high. The second one here got a 6.7 out of 10. So that's significantly lower.
That's usually how it goes with Broadway shows. The first act is really the killer, and then the second act is where they have to resolve all the plot lines. So the second act is usually the big downer that has to lead to the inevitable finale. So
then the question becomes, will Zootopia 2 do what Wicked did, and will it drop the score? If I had to give a score for the first Zootopia, it's going to be a 9 or above. It's a really good movie. I know some people say that it's woke, but it really came out at the beginning of the woke era. And I can't fault things that started off before the trope had begun, right? And you can watch the first Zootopia and you can come up with the idea that, I don't know if it's actually dealing with the things that, became wokeism later, or if it's just dealing with be kind and nice to others and don't be prejudiced, right? It's hard to, but I give it the benefit of the doubt. And so I give Zootopia the original a very good score. How's this one going to fare? Well, we'll find out, folks. But it would not be fair of us, Jonas, to start the show without going straight to the superstars, the super chatters who are out there making sure that the dream continues on, the dream to stream. They continue to feed the radioactive hamsters.
This was sent in before the Pro Show today, but on this live stream. I don't know how that happened. The Packing Protons for $5 would like to see where all these TV/movie 400 million plus budgets are going to. Money laundering or intentional asset destruction. There's also remaking the movie more than one time, which I think is going to be the case with Moana 2.
Moana. The one that I'm paying attention to, Jonas, is we've got some information, I guess, now that The Acolyte costs way more. And of course, we've heard, Deadpool and Wolverine, but it's it's not a TV, but it is a movie. But yeah, this stuff about crossing.
I think you mean Andor, don't you? You mean Andor.
Oh, Andor. I'm sorry, you're right. Not Acolyte. Andor costs way more. Yeah. We'll find out about Acolyte soon, I'm sure. It's just rinse, lather, rinse, repeat, man. When it comes to Disney, they blow by those budgets. And that's really the thing about it too, is they report these budgets and they're pointless. I don't know why we're reporting the budgets anymore. Because the budget is never what they actually spent. And you can say, well, if they went over by 5 or 10, it's fine. And it's like, no, they keep going over by like 100 million or 200 million. At that point, what does it matter if we report the budget? Who cares what the budget is?
Right. When we were talking about it before, and I reviewed the clip even though I wasn't there, you mentioned it on stream. When we're talking about Deadpool and Wolverine being 520 million versus 540 million, depending on the FX fluctuation. Like, who cares at that point on a $20 million difference? These movies are made in such a way that they can't be profitable, or it gets so close that it might not be profitable. So what if this is a crazy idea. What if they started making these movies in a way that they have a chance of making money, and then they can make more movies and just make money on, they can have more at-bats, as they like to say. And then maybe they can get a home run.
Right. Well, here's the thing about it, Jonas. Disney is a little bit like a teenage daughter.
Mm-hmm.
where you say, sweetie, I'm noticing that when daddy gave you the debit card, that there are way more outgoing expenses from the account than what I had thought there would be. We had to talk about this, what's going on. And she says to you, well, you gave me a budget. And you say, yeah. And that budget does not match what I'm seeing here. So what's going on, dear? What did you actually spend? Well, you gave me a budget. No, I don't want to know the budget. I know what I told you for the budget. What did you spend? And that's Disney. That's Disney, right? We know what you told us you spent or what you were going to spend. We know it. We know the budget. What did you really do? Because it's never the same.
I identify with the dealing with a teenage girl budget, though. That's painful. Doge Pal for $5. Disney Television Animation and Disney Toons. Look at how we were able to churn out so many crappy sequels. Walt Disney Animation Studios. Hold my beer.
Hold my gummy berry juice, I guess you could say.
Was Disney Toon Studios responsible for an extremely goofy movie? Although I don't mind that one.
If you dislike the goofy movies, we've got a problem. We need to have a talk.
No, I said extremely goofy movie, which is the sequel to a goofy movie. And no, I like it, but
it's no goofy movie.
Right. It's not like Fox and the Hound 2, where Fox and the Hound is a story about race relations, and Fox and the Hound 2 is a story about touring county fairs to see who can sing the best.
Well, it seems like that, really. I mean, the first one just leads into the second. Obviously, there's a logical flow there.
Yep. I think Reba McEntire and Patrick Swayze are in the second one. Packing Protons for $5. Also, did they give Judy a boy's body or put her on Ozempic? I think they gave her a bunny body.
Listen, she's a very feminine bunny, and she looks the same to me.
Yeah, I would imagine they didn't change the model too much. Although, how does she hear with her ears up in that, we'll say, bun?
You know, Jonas, have you ever seen a kid at Christmas wearing earmuffs? It's the same thing, okay? Come on.
Earmuffs. I remember. What was that movie? Old School? Anyways.
Get caught up on the physics of rabbit ears. Come on.
Pixel goes for $5. Do you think the original concept for Zootopia with the shot callers told from Nick's perspective have been better than this movie?
The original concept was much darker. And I'll tell you this, from a box office standpoint, it seems to me that anytime you get into cruelty with the critters, the box office goes down. So from a financial standpoint, not a better concept. You can see that, by the way, with Guardians 3, did not make as much money as the others. And some say it's because people just really don't like witnessing cruelty towards critters and kids. And I'm with you on that. That's a tough thing to have to make anybody, go and watch. So in a kid's film, I don't think so.
All right. And then Pixel Ghost gets one WDW Pro membership. And this was like at 9:30. So this was almost an hour ago.
Pixel Ghost, you're the best kind of ghost. As opposed to those other three, you're the one that needs to be in every game of Pac-Man.
I'm assuming that Space Ghost is not listening.
Susie, that's the name of the purple ghost, right? Susie is has nothing on you, Pixel Ghost. Nothing.
Agreed. Now it's known. Sends in $1 just a super thanks, I suppose. Thank you very much, Mac.
What's amazing is we should be the ones giving the super thanks to Mac, because Mac is one of the greatest sources out there. Sends us all kinds of streaming news.
Absolutely. I don't know what we would do without Mac. Scott Westbrook gifted 5 WDW Pro memberships.
Thank you, Scott. And you know what? We're going to click the button that makes us able to play the clips. But when we do, don't be surprised if Jonas disappears for a moment. You ready?
Whoop.
Look.
A little too close. A little too close.
And it's already Lauren and Apollo. Well, that's coming out at 11 p.m., folks. We're going to redirect you at the end of this to Lauren and Apollo. Be there. Don't be square. And Scott, good to see you out there. This one is for you.
Gigawatts! 1.21 gigawatts!
Paul 12,000 for $2. Wicked has ruined the original Oz story. Not cool.
Not cool at all.
I disagree. I mean, Some people, when they say that, they would mean the 1938 film. But the Frank Baum stories, I think, are just as good as they were back when they were written.
You know, some people are angry because they're taking what is in Wicked now and applying it to the original film, the 1930 whatever film. And they're talking about how weird this is now that the Scarecrow was actually in love with the witch and she knows that. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, yeah, they're not the same movie. But a lot of people don't recognize that.
Yeah, it's like the Jar Jar is a Sith theory. Like, there's somebody who has not watched the movies that believes that. Or not, and has not watched them recently. Timothy Kennedy 6804 for 5. Jonas, that's just crazy talk. Hollywood is just really bad at math.
They're really good at fuzzy numbers, I'll tell you that.
Right. If you're an executive who gets paid off of revenue as opposed to profitability, then sure. Spend $550 million making a Deadpool movie. Sure.
Spend it, baby, spend. Dig, baby, dig.
Douglas Nutt for 5. Suddenly, Sheep. Part of the Random Twist villain set. Fun ride otherwise. We're talking about Bellwether from the first one?
Oh, yeah.
Smellweather, sorry.
Smellweather. Huh.
Yep. Joppy. Hey, Joppy, for 50 Swedish crowns. Please give an earlier heads up for the member panel next time. I woke up having just missed it last time, woke up just now as well. Well, sir.
I can tell you, Joppy, that we're going to be doing a members panel, not this week, but next week. This week is a little bit too hectic with all the holiday stuff. So next week, we're going to have a member panel. And I can tell you that we've got an after party coming up next week as well. So there'll be an after party. Those are different. Member panels and member live streams are different than after parties. We've added after parties now to the top 2 levels of membership, where after a show, 2 to 3 times a month, we'll say this is the after party time. And you can hop in and talk and chat with the panel and join in with the other guests. It's not live. It's not broadcast, but it's just an after party place to hang out and have a good time.
Yep. Paul, 12,000 for $2. Pretty sure it wasn't like that in the Oz books.
Nope. Probably was not.
The Wicked Witch was definitely just wicked. And there was no, oh, well, she's just misunderstood or some garbage like that. No, she was actually the Wicked Witch of the West.
Yeah, people have criticized slightly my take on this, saying that, Pro, it's why do you let Wicked off the hook? Not just call it out for being woke. And the reason I don't do that is because it's kind of like Zootopia. Wicked set that trail, and then everybody else wanted to do that, and that's sort of what brought in some of this stuff. Like Maleficent, for example, and Cruella. Disney wanted to copy the Wicked model. Wicked wanted to play this game of, well, why is the witch wicked and what if she really wasn't? Okay? Deconstruct the villain. And you can do that once. It's when everybody starts doing it and it becomes this thing where now, like, it's even affected. And this is, folks don't understand this. Not this audience does, but a lot of people out there don't understand why we do what we do, Jonas. When we pay attention to entertainment, you got to understand, it has a huge impact. The stories that we pay attention to, that we focus on, that we tell, that we watch, massive impact on our culture and our society. That's why we cover this stuff. From the mid 2010s, okay, we got into this mode of deconstructing villains. And we hammered that in entertainment over and over and over, whether it was on Broadway or whether it was on in the movies or on your streaming platforms, over and over and over. And what happened 5 to 10 years later in real life? Suddenly, everybody wanted to say, oh, well, the criminal's not really a criminal. They're just misunderstood. They don't need to serve their time. We don't need to send police. We need to send social workers. I'm telling you, folks, that comes about from us changing our mythos. The stuff that you sit around the campfire and talk about, the movies that you go see, the TV shows that are playing as your kids watch them, they matter a lot. And Jonas, something else matters a lot. You see what I see?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my. Joppy, what have you done?
Do you see what I see?
That's amazing. 50 gifted memberships.
Joppy. Wow. Wowza, man. Wowza. And you know what? You got a Simpsons avatar on right now. So from Homer. Oh, Joppy, you've made the night be the best it can be. Woo!
I want to hear it.
Not right now.
Yes, now, Dusty Bun.
Wait. Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you again, Joppy. We really do appreciate you. And thank you for letting so many people enjoy the upcoming member live streams, the member videos, and the new shorts that are coming out for members at level 2 and above. Thank you, Joppy.
Yep. And Paul 2000 for 12,000 for 2. Highly illogical to deconstruct villains, though. Yeah, it was a 90s thing. By the way, the original Wicked novel came out in 1995, and even in adapting it for the musical, they really lightened a lot of the themes. It made it a lot less woke. It was
Prominence, Jonas.
Prominence?
Yeah, so and I think we're having a little bit of roboting, but Jonas, so in the 90s, you start to foment these ideas, right? You start to put these out there. It doesn't gain steam. Like it starts to go off on Broadway and it gets really popular in the early 2000s, post 2001, right? And so it starts to percolate up then, and it gets more and more popular. And this deconstruction of villains, actually, what happens is that women become highly attached to that. In particular, that demographic gets really attached to that idea, and it's because women have a proclivity beyond the typical male, although it's not exclusive to femininity, but they have a higher proclivity for empathy, and empathy that actually escapes the bounds of logic. Now, that's clearly true because women are actually biologically driven to take care of infants, and infants are absolutely time-sucking little machines that all they have are needs. And well, thank God that women take care of us, right, when we're little bitties.
I'm beginning to understand why you might sympathize with a villain, Pro.
Listen, I love our littles.
I know.
Jonas, here's the thing, right? So that takes hold in teenage women and young women. And then what's happened over the next 10, 15 years? Look at the impact of those stories and how the prism in which we see the world through that lens of mythology that we began to take hold to. And you start to see how we got this gender divide. It's really fascinating. These stories actually matter so much.
So we'll just blame Wicked for all of it, honestly.
I think that's logical and fair, Jonas. Absolutely. We would like to say that everything that has been divisive in politics came only from Wicked.
Yes, in 1995. Joppy for 100 Swedish crowns. Don't know if I'll make it for next week. Don't even know if I can make it to the streams till the end of January, but I'll say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year ahead of time now. Well, thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you, Joppy.
Now, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Joppy. What we need to know is, now you can say that. I don't know if I'll make it for next week. Don't even know if I can make it to streams till the end of January. Joppy, we want to know, is everything okay? Now, you don't have to say that publicly, but let us know somehow privately. Get on X and let us know. We would hate to, find out later on that you were going through something and you were, you get the idea, Joppy. We want everything to be A-okay with you. And if it's not, you reach out and let us know. Okay. We care. Make sense, Jonas?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we're getting some comments here that are wondering if your Zootopia 2 review live stream will actually have a Zootopia 2 review in it. But first, Timothy Kennedy for $20. Who will take up the challenge of deconstructing the villain Sauron? That would be Rings of Power, wouldn't it? Isn't that what Rings of Power is doing?
You know what, though? Let's not blame Wicked. Folks, I know who we should blame now.
Is it Mayor Lionheart?
Belle. That darn Belle and her not seeing the Beast as a bad guy and actually trying to find... Listen, that's what led to all this. All these girls who think they're going to find the Beast and he's not so bad. And that's it, Jonas. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, but Sauron.
Well, I guess...
That's what Sauron needed, though. He needed a girlfriend. It's because it didn't work out between him and Galadriel.
I'm not gonna say that in the. What do you got,
Quentin? If you're not actually going to do the review, then don't label the videos. It's not a video; it's a live stream, and we're talking, man.
Listen. We're gonna get on it. We're gonna get on. You gotta have a little fun at first, okay? You gotta have a little fun.
3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. What the heck is bothering me?
All right, Jonas, you ready to do a Zootopia 2 review? You ready to do it?
Yes, let's do it. Do it. Hey,
Let's hit it, man.
I was wondering, have you seen the movie X-Men First Class, though?
Are you trying to slow me down?
You want to talk about that one for a little bit?
You want to do about 45 minutes on it?
Yes, I think so. That's probably for the best.
Zootopia 2 is out in theaters, and the question is, do you want to go anywhere near it? Do you want to take your family? Is it woke? Will it make you broke? And will this sucker make $1 billion? Today, folks, we're going to dive into Zootopia 2. It's Disney's big movie, and it might be the salvation of cinemas, along with Wicked. Remember that Avatar, Fire and Ash, does not come out until the last couple of weeks of the year, and that means that it will not have a huge impact on the box office for 2025. So it's down to Wicked, and it's down to Zootopia. I've seen the film. What do I say about it? Well, folks, we're going to try to stay away from spoilers in this one because we know you don't want to be spoiled. But here's the deal. Zootopia follows up on a very successful film that came out about a decade ago. But in this movie, only about a week has passed. It creates for a very strange dynamic where much of your life has changed, but for these characters, almost no time has gone away whatsoever. The baddies are different this time. It's a bunch of cats, and they're out to try to figure out what's going on because it appears that a snake has made its way into Zootopia. Yeah.
Cats? I thought it was the reptiles that were the villains this time.
Jonas. No. Listen, I'm not spoiling anything by saying this, okay? From the minute the cats show up in the first few minutes of the film, it's very obvious that they have bad guy voices. Very clear they have bad guy voices. In fact, I would even say, Jonas, they intro to the film with bad guy music. So there's no fooling you there.
Okay, so they're bobcats, and I thought they were. I thought the message was that everybody it shouldn't be judged. But
they're lynx. They're lynxes, Jonas. They're lynxes. Okay.
Well, obviously they're evil.
The plural of lynx, but so be it. So Judy and Nick, even though that they saved Zootopia and they're famous, somehow they're still rookie cops who get absolutely no respect. No respect, I tell you, Mr. Dangerfield. Get no respect inside the police force. And they suddenly, after a week after saving the entire world, they are going to have to go through partner therapy, which is essentially couple therapy. And it's handled in a funny way. But yeah, Hollywood is still obsessed with therapy. It's an inside out 2 strategy. Does it work? Well, that's up to you. The question is Zootopia 2 woke? That is it neo-Marxist? Is it postmodern? Does it throw away the idea of objective truth? And does it believe in oppression by oppressors who are determined simply by the way they were born? And to that I say, no. I can definitely see how at one point in the development, maybe they could have gone that way. But the ultimate product, no. It's absolutely not woke. It's not woke at all.
Okay.
And in fact, it's essentially like the first one. This film says, do not judge a book by its cover, and it's trying to right a wrong. It's essentially the story of the Good Samaritan, in which Judy Hopps plays the character who is determined to do good for a character that the rest of the world sees as bad, that they're fearful of. Meanwhile, the dynamic between Judy and Nick comes down to the idea that Nick, although he wants to save the world along with Judy again, he has discovered that he has feelings for her. I'm not saying it's romantic. The film is ambiguous about that.
Oh.
However, he is not so interested in completing some of the missions because he's on a mission to make sure that the most important person in the world to him does not get destroyed in trying to save the world around her. That's a great story. The problem is for Zootopia 2, that as it goes through its journey, it's very dense on logic. And I'm not saying in a bad way, but I'm saying in the kind of way that kids are going to not track well. The smaller the kid, the harder they're going to have understanding what's going on in the movie. And it does slow down significantly, especially in Acts 1 and 2. By Act 3, you're having a good time. Everybody's having a good time. And especially when the snake shows up and gets to have lots of screen time. Mr. Kwan, you just do phenomenally well in everything you're in. Let's hear it for Short Round. The film is... go ahead, Jonas.
I have so many questions. So go ahead and finish this part if you want. But there's a lot of things that I saw in the trailer, for instance, that kind of made the hairs on my neck go. All
right, let's get into that. So,
stand on end.
For the younger the child that you take, the less they're going to enjoy this movie, I think. Until you get down into like the 2, 3, 4-year-old, and they just don't care. They like flashy colors and popcorn, so they're going to have a good time no matter what. But really, this is a movie made more for teenagers and young adults. Again, very Inside Out 2-esque. Now, does that mean it's going to fail? No, Inside Out 2 did great. So I can't tell you that it's going to, that it's going to do poorly. However, it's not as fun a film as the first one. The first one is easy for people of all ages, and the sight gags are not here in the same way. And one of the problems is that the characters that return from the first film, they really don't serve a purpose. So they have to come back in with their, one-hit wonder gag and do that again. And
so they do the naked animals again.
It feels no, they don't. The naked animals. I started to say the real word for it, but we can't on YouTube. The naked animals do not come back, but it feels shoehorned, right? So when the little mafia mole shows up, he really doesn't have a good reason for being there, except the fact he's really popular. So get him in there, right? And I get it when Dash or Slash or whatever his name is, the sloth, when he shows up, it's cute to have him in the car, but it's like 10% of the joke that he was there for the first film, but you can't do the DMV again. Ultimately, it's a fine film. It's a good film. If you're a teenager or young adult, you're going to like this one a lot. If you're in the younger crowd, there are better movies, better animated movies to go to. This one's not as good as the first. It's not as great as the original. It's sort of in that same vein that we've seen so many times recently from Disney, where they can get close enough, but they can't be great like what they had a decade ago. So ultimately, what do I give Zootopia 2? Ladies and gentlemen, Zootopia 2 with Judy and Nick gets a 7.5 out of 10. 7.5 out of 10. It's a good movie. You'll have a good time, but it's not a great film. In my mind, your mileage will differ depending on your age, I believe. Jonas, go ahead, sir.
Okay. Well, first of all, Tony Ilias says not better than K-pop Demon Hunters, right?
No, not even close. No. K-pop Demon Hunters is a 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah. Let's see here. Quentin, who was waiting eagerly for your review, says Inside Out 2 was pretty bad, probably 2 out of 10. Disappointed that you gave a good review. So I wouldn't classify your review as Inside Out 2 as positive, though.
As I recall, I gave it kind of a meh. Inside Out 2 is not even close to the original. Nowhere close to the original in terms of how good it is. I think I gave Inside Out 2 a 6 out of 10, right?
Yeah, Inside Out 2, I don't remember what you gave it, but Inside Out 2 is actually it works on so many levels. And Inside Out, the original, works on so many levels, and Inside Out 2 is nothing. It is. Well,
let's compare, right?
Barely works on one level.
Let's compare Inside Out 2 to Inside Out, just in one way, okay? Both of them introduce a character that is purely of the imagination of Riley.
Yes.
And in Inside Out 2, that's anxiety. In Inside Out 1, it's Bing Bong. Now, what was the impact when Bing Bong, the imaginary friend, sacrifices himself for Riley's maturation? Okay? How did you feel in that versus how you felt when anxiety finally saved the day, which is a strange thing to happen because anxiety.
Let me see if I can get into my Richard Kind.
Let's see if I can get into my Richard Kind voice and take her to the moon for me.
Oh my goodness.
That's almost King Candy.
No, King Candy is on a much higher register, and
they're both in
the certain reverberation in the nasal cavity that have to do with your King Candy.
Both of a similar flavor. So, Jonas, any questions you've got for me? I think I think it's going to make a lot of money.
Okay,
a lot of money.
Well, before we get to those questions, which I do have, I want to put this up on screen. Pastor of Muppets gifted 5 WDW Pro memberships. Thank you very much. I'm glad to see that Kermit got back on the straight and narrow after getting that big.
That's right. Thank you, Pastor of Muppets. This one goes out to you.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was heard.
And I'll tell you this too, folks. If you have any curiosity as to whether or not they're going to make more of these, stay for the credits.
Oh, yes.
They're going to make more. And they're basically telling you at the end of the credits, what it is that's coming out next for Zootopia. So I bet it's already in development. Not going to be 9 years till Zootopia 3. And I'll tell you this too. This is an oddball take on the movie. Okay. We got 420 people here and almost 700 across all of the platforms. I'll just tell you this, folks. You know, when Disney does something that deserves to be praised, we do it around here. Balls and strikes, balls and strikes. I thought that what Disney did in the credits this time was wonderful. Something different that I've never seen anybody do. First of all,
is this something you're going to tell us, or is this something you're saving for spoilers?
No, I'm going to tell you. There's no spoiler here. In the credits, first of all, Disney thanks everybody who works at Disney Animation. That was nice. But then, Jonas, in the credits, they actually thanked specifically the people that, I guess they're interns or baristas or whatever, the people who made them coffee. They thanked the security guards at the gate. Like I've never seen a company go that far and make those people prominent. And I thought that is such a wonderful thing to do. You never, ever, ever see the folks out there who, you know, make sure that the right people come into the building on the premises. You know, you never see this kind of thing be called out. It's all about the artist. In this case, they put them front and center, and I thought that was just so kind.
Well, that is cool. That is cool. Joppy for 100 Swedish crowns. In timing of YouTube bugging out as per usual at random intervals was pretty funny as I was listening to you wanting to hear all is okay. But yeah, I'm just very, very busy for 2 months straight now. It is that time of year.
That's good. Joppy, you know that when people post something and they say, hey, you might not send me around anymore, we're going to check on those kind of, you know, we're going to check on people and we're going to check on you because we care about our viewers. We really, really do. And we're always making sure that, especially during this time of the year, because folks, remember, it's a joyous time of the year. That's true. Yep. But if you've lost someone or if you're feeling lonely at this time of year, it's exacerbated. So everybody out there, get out there and make the world a better place. And during the holidays, check on your loved ones and check on those who might be feeling a little down during this time of year. And you can be that shining light in the darkness they need. Get out there and make the world a better place.
Yep. Bad News Badger. Perhaps. Yeah, it's a really horrible segue to Bad News Badger.
No, Bad News Badger, we love you.
But WDW Pro membership.
Get out there and make the world a better place, folks.
Look at that Badger delivering that bad news. Joppy for 50 Swedish crowns. Also, I can proudly say I've never had a Twitter account, nor will I get one, but thank you for the well wishes, even though it's just time crunch. But what about an X account?
Yeah. X or Twitter, who knows? Hey, I'll tell you guys this too. I didn't mention this in the review. It's Kehui Kwan, right? Kehui Kwan. Okay. Phenomenal. I mean, his voice as the snake is unlike any voice I have ever heard. There's no accent. Like, I think he made up an entirely new accent. I've never heard that before. And it is just, I don't know how they sat down with him and said, can you come up with a snake voice that's both serpentine, but kind and warm? And he came up with this very silly thing that features a unique novel lisp sound to it. It's just, what a cool thing to invent that kind of a voice.
Interesting. Okay. Timothy Kennedy for 9 years equals 1 week. Rabbit lifespan is 8 to 12 years. That rabbit's chances of collecting her pension is very low.
What are you, Bad News Badger now? What are you doing out there? Yeah. Judy Hopps is going to have a hard retirement. I don't think she's going to see it.
My question is, what do the foxes eat if rabbits are off the menu?
And I'll say this too, because I don't think it's a spoiler. Yes, they did manage to get "What Does the Fox Say" into the movie.
Oh no!
Jonas, the answer is yip, 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 yip.
Is it? Oh my!
Maybe.
Archer Merchant for $5 watched Rental Family instead of this or Wicked. Very sentimental yet believable. I hope it does well on stream and given its competition. Is Rental Family, is that the one with Brendan Fraser?
You know, I'm not sure about that, but if it's got Brendan Fraser, I am a big fan. And I can't wait for him to be back in The Mummy again. I don't care if it's going to be silly or terrible. I'm going to go watch it.
No, Brendan, it's Fraser. I remember him saying this. It's not Fraser, it's Fraser. Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty.
I also watching the Epic documentary, I found out it's not Joe Manganiello, it's Manganiello when he pronounces it. So
what?
Yeah.
Huh.
Like,
well, you know.
Unless Sofia Vergara got that in the divorce or something.
Could be.
I don't know that they're divorced, but John 9652 for $5, a male, a female, and a snake. Is this biblical allegory?
It's the ethos that it's taking on in this movie, and it doesn't do as well as the first one. Doesn't even come close. And the first two acts are kind of muddled. It's the third act that's very strong, that fixes a lot of the problems. But what they're going after is, they're going after at what point do you give up the responsibility to do the right thing to protect the ones you love from the dangers of following that path?
Huh. Is the danger that she's a bunny in the police force?
The danger is that she cannot stop pursuing justice and truth and all that sort of thing, and she puts herself into grave danger, and Nick doesn't want to see her harmed, but she can't stop.
So it's like Batman, but from Alfred's perspective.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
All right. And then Trebles for 10. I would go see Zootopia 2 if the snake demands that fat animal kid do the truffle shuffle. Do it.
Of all the things I thought I would see tonight. Trebles, it's good to see you out there. It's good to see you. Yeah. Trebles, by the way, is the guy who often sends us requests on the Valiant Renegade show to do voices and has me doing Butters. So thank you, Trebles. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you.
I feel like I can't respectfully do a Ki Hui Kwan impression, but I love the way the guy talks. It's if I try to do an impression of somebody, generally it's not because I'm making fun of them. It's because I think the way that they talk is interesting.
You know, he's the very rare case where the way he talks and the way he looks, you can still identify him all the way back from when he was 9 years old till now. I don't see how he does it, but it's, you know, the man is just pure joy on the screen. I don't know what he's like behind the scenes, but he's just so happy, and you can even feel it in his portrayal of the snake. And I thought when I found out that he was cast as this snake, I thought this is the strangest, casting choice ever. And then once you find out who the snake is in the story, then it makes sense why they got this guy, because who else is going to portray a snake the way that he can? It's a cool thing, very cool. But again, folks, good as the first one, not even close. But it's a fine film. It's a good film.
Yeah, the question that actually, I'm going to put this up here before we get to my question. Do you think they should do another Zootopia sequel? Would you want another one?
Yeah, I think they should do another Zootopia sequel, both from a business standpoint and a narrative standpoint. From a business standpoint, this thing prints money so long as it's not woke, and they managed to make this one not woke. And from a narrative standpoint, I think they're bringing back some of the people who helped them be successful years ago, and they're flushing out some of the wokesters. Now, Disney is still rife with it, but I think they can get a team together to make another one, and I think they can make it work. And the end credit scene shows there's another type of animal that they want to feature a story about.
Okay. By the way, I have to point out that that is a 3-wolf moon on that avatar. So
yeah, it's sponges, by the way, Jonas. They want to talk about sponges next.
Aldo Casabona, member for 6. How do you know when one act ends in new movies? Well, it's generally when something happens and everything changes.
Right. In the hero's journey, it's when the hero is forced to leave the safety of the beginning. Usually. Yes. That takes you to the middle act. The middle act is where things happen, where we find out what is the dilemma that must be solved. And then the final act is at the solution of it.
Yep. The classic 3-act structure, and it can be more than 3 acts, but generally speaking, introduction, body of the work, and then resolution.
That's right.
Javi for 200 Swedish crowns. The Mummy was only good because of the chemistry between Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz. The only reason Rachel wasn't in the third was because she didn't think of herself as old enough to have an adult kid. Yeah. Was he an adult he was an adult by the third one, wasn't he? Because he was in the second one. The kid was in the second.
Yep.
Yeah, that third one is really not good. And again, Brendan Fraser, has recently stated that the reason that film got made is because NBC had a whole bunch of production equipment in China because of the Olympics, and they wanted to save a little money at the same time. And
Boy,
so they got Jet Li and they did Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. But man, that was not a good movie. And whatever they're working on now, as he says, what number 3 should have been. So the odds that they ignore number 3 having ever existed are pretty high, I'd say.
There you go.
Yep. All right. Zootopia. So in the trailers for Zootopia, they start to talk about immigration a lot, or what it looks like.
You want to pry into my mind here. Okay, go for it. What do you got?
Yeah. So it seems like there's a lot of statements about, oh, well, they've been living among us. It's as if there's a secret. I think there might even be a sombrero on the snake at the time that
there's folks, we're going to go into spoiler territory now. This is your chance. If you don't have any spoilers, you got to get out, because Jonas is going to ask me questions that are going to force me to explain some plot stuff. Okay. So if you don't want to know, this is your opportunity to get out of here. All right. Get out of here if you don't want to hear any spoilers. Go ahead, Jonas.
So with all of this, it seemed like there were comments from people like The Wrap and other outlets saying this is a timely story, a timely social commentary. Was that social commentary about immigration?
So here's what I think, Jonas. I think that there are a lot of writers out there and some of the artists behind the scenes that they want to pump up their virtuosity card. Mm-hmm. And so they try to inject into these stories either their own message that's not necessarily there, or they want to point to what the message was before the executive said, yeah, scrub that, we're going to change that. So could you read this as an immigration story? With difficulty, yes. But it is obvious that great lengths have been made to keep this away from anything that real world. It's very obvious if you know what they're going. If you understand how these movies are made, it's very obvious they're going to great lengths to make sure there is no attachment whatsoever to real life individuals.
That's something they did really well in the first one, by the way. Well, by making it predator and prey and making the sheep the adversaries. It was something where, you know, obviously it's a race allegory, and there's some references to illicit substances epidemic in the 1990s. I'm trying to keep YouTube off of our tail here. But
that was Nightshade, right? Was the stuff that they were in the first one? Was that?
Yeah, Mindycamping Polycephalus or something like that.
Yeah.
But the idea being that there was something created and put into a certain community in order to create bad behavior.
Right.
I don't know that was intentional on the part of the filmmakers, but it was read like that by the audience. So it was about prejudice in general, instead of being like, well, these are the whites and these are the Hispanics and these are the Dutch. You know, it was a theme of the movie, as opposed to saying these are the good people, these are the bad people.
You know, the problem I have with Zootopia's logic, and I try not to go here. You know, every time I start to think about the logic of it, I go, okay, it's a kids' movie. But the problem I have with the logic is I don't know what the predators eat. I don't know how they're actually alive. You know, what is it? You know, do they eat is there some sort of biologically animal entity that they're allowed to eat and get away with it? You know, maybe they have
some bioengineered Campbell's soup. That's all they can have. Yeah,
3D printed meat in the Campbells. I don't know.
Yep. Archer Merchant for $5. The real question: will Sisu 3 take place on a flaming monorail?
It will, if Disney keeps at it what they're up to. I love that Disney comes out with all of these grandiose kinds of tech reveals. Meanwhile, everything they do is broken down within a week, and it's like, guys, you're really good at getting film of what it is you do behind the scenes, and you're really bad at actually delivering any of it.
Let's see, what do we got? We got here Pixel Ghost for $2. How does Zootopia 2 compare to other movies this year, like Fantastic Four?
Okay, so that's a great question. It is better than Wicked for good. It's not as good as Wicked from last year. It is let's see, what other movies? Minecraft I thought was better. What other movies? This year's been so terrible.
You said that Minecraft was better than this?
Well, for what it is.
Okay.
Minecraft is not better in terms of a traditional movie, but from being just total ridiculousness, which is what it was made to be, it's more fun. What's been a movie that's been... I would say Zootopia 2 is better than almost any other movie I've seen at the theaters this year, but that's not saying much.
Predator Badlands.
Oh, gosh. What came out in the spring, Jonas? What was it? Oh, Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts was the spring one.
Yeah, I like Thunderbolts, actually. Okay. Well, you didn't like Thunderbolts, though.
I like the third act. Fine. I'm not like Culture. I didn't hate on the thing, but it's better than Thunderbolts.
Culture kind of hates everything these days. What are the odds that
blackpill that guy? We can unblackpill him.
Yeah. What are the odds that Bob Iger is secretly shorting the Disney stock? Probably not much, since he gets paid in Disney stock, but that's beautiful. Aldo Casabona for $2. It's just hard for me to divide acts in the first seating. It's really easy in superhero films most of the time. The problem that we have, generally speaking, right now is the writing has gone down so much in a lot of Hollywood films, especially when it's something that doesn't have the traditional straightforward audience. With kids films, like Moana is a great example of this. Moana 2 was a TV show that was put into a movie, and so those act markers could be all over the place.
That's one of the reasons Moana 2 is a terrible movie.
Yes.
It's terrible. And anybody who pretends that it's a good movie, I'm sorry. It's just, you can enjoy bad movies, but it's a bad movie.
Right. Iron Man is a great example. It's very easy to say, okay, well, when he gets back, that's the end of Act 1. And when he discovers that Obadiah Stane is actually evil, that's the start of Act 3. So
right. And Moana, for example, everybody knows Moana. The first act is everything that leads up to Moana finally meeting up with Maui, because that's the introduction of who she is. And she goes off and she takes on Maui. She gets to Maui. Okay. Second act is her and Maui on her adventures with him. And then the third act is when Maui abandons her and she's forced to take on, what's the villain's name in that one? Help me out. Tafiti, yeah. So she has to take on Tafiti by herself, and then Maui has to come back and rescue her. And then ultimately Moana wins, not by being a masculine hero, but actually embracing the feminine archetype, because she's not masculine. She's been trying to play the beta male masculine role, and she's not good at it. It turns out that the way that she brings salvation to her world is by having the nurturing femininity inside of her to return the heart to Tafiti, which was stolen by Maui, because Maui was not acting in the most appropriate way. Right. And so that's the big reversal that I don't even think the creators of Moana understand, is that Moana fails at being a masculine hero, and the inversion that saves the day is her taking on her feminine role of nurturing the wrong that has been done, as opposed to vanquishing the dragon. She can't vanquish the dragon, but she can embrace the dragon and bring restorative healing.
That's right. Joppy for 500 Swedish crowns. I seriously hate it when consumers think a story or character is weird and or bad when a fantastical story doesn't follow real world natural rules or cultural norms, and when characters don't follow the exact same logic as the consumer. Stop it. Right. Someone thinking differently than you is not a plot hole.
The thing about Zootopia, I just find it funny. Folks, watch the first one and the second one. You're going to notice they have to go to great lengths to never show these animals eating, at least the predators. Never can show it. And why? Because obviously they'd be eating their little friends. I don't know what they eat. I don't know. Maybe they just drink milk all day. But then that begs the question, whose milk is it exactly?
Right. There's a shot in there of Nick Wilde eating a teeny tiny piece of cake, and that's about all you get.
Right. Popsicles, right? But what's the lion going to eat? He can't eat a popsicle.
Yep. Bad News Badger for 100 Danish kroner. Apparently, we've gotten our own local fox to part of my town. I can't tell if it's because of the town getting bigger or the return of the wolf to Denmark that has shaken up some territorial markers. I'd take the foxes and the wolves over the bears in Japan. They're starting to sell bear shelters in Japan now.
I'm all about wildlife. I think that wildlife is important. I think that conservation is important. I don't think that these wackadoodles who claim environmentalism, but really what they want is power, I don't like them very much. But I think it's cool to see wildlife, and I think we're at a place now. Whereas, most people forget that for the vast majority of human history, you had to worry about the beasts in the wilderness, right? You couldn't go to the next town without a whole lot of people because bears and wolves might get you. But now we're in such a place of dominance over nature that I think we can safely, of course, have all kinds of animals out there and live to some degree in harmony. Of course, the prey don't really agree with us, I don't believe. I'm not sure that the deer are terribly excited about the reintroduction of bears.
Yeah, I would say peace through strength, right? Although
the deer are like, why are you doing this to us? How much do you hate us? Seriously. First interstates, now the bears are back.
Yeah. Aldo Casabona for 199. I saw the Nightshade as a jab allegory. Yeah.
Well, it came out before the jab. Yeah. So that's why I can't go with you on that one. Simply because it precedes it.
Yeah. Let's see what we get here. Archer Merchant for 5. Someone already made the joke, but I agree they should play Chappelle for Rick James adjacent character that keeps saying Nightshade is a heck of a drug.
That would be a comment.
Now, I've tried to do a Dave Chappelle on occasion, and it's difficult.
It's like Morgan Freeman and Chappelle had a baby.
That's one way to think about it. But anyways, moving on.
It's Chappelle doing that voice though. Douglas Nutt for 5. Disney attractions, the trailers are better than the movie.
Every single time. Every single time.
Yep. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah. I haven't seen this one, so I'm not saying that for Zootopia 2. But Eddie Rodriguez for 5. These streams always brighten my day. Happy holidays, everyone. And same to you, Eddie Rodriguez.
Absolutely. Folks, don't miss out. Soon, coming on the Pro Channel, we're going to be covering Rachel Maddow getting a new show. I'm just breaking in to let you know. Watch out. This Thanksgiving, we may release this one. I don't know. Maybe Friday. We'll see. But Rachel Maddow is starting her own extra show, but not her own. It's not her working 2 days a week, Jonas. And we're going to explain what they're up to over on MSNBC/MS Now. Fantastic story. I can't wait to bring it to you. Folks, we're going to be sending you over to Lauren and Apollo in just a few minutes. They're going to be getting underway, and we'll send you that way in just a few. Want to thank everybody for being here. We'll hit the rest of the super chats. Jonas, what do we got here?
All right, let's see. Quentin Edwards, what's your box office estimate? More than Wicked?
Oh boy, that's a tough one. This is a tough one.
I think the budgets are more in line for Wicked than it would be for this one.
All right, so the tough one is because there's one variable that I can't tell you. I just don't understand yet, and that's Avatar: Fire and Ash. I haven't seen it yet. I know it'll have a big first weekend, but what about the New Year's traffic to the box office for these two films? And is Avatar a big hit, or is it kind of like Shrek 3 where we all go, oh, well, the first two were special. So if I had to give an estimate right now on Zootopia 2, barring some sort of strange China, rush to their theaters, I'm going to say it makes $1.1 billion.
Wow.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to make Inside Out 2 money. But it could. It could. It just, I don't know. It's not as much fun for little kids. So that's where I kind of get stuck. Like in the first one when she stops the donut from squishing the little mouse.
Right.
Like,
and it's Kristen Bell.
You don't have to understand police or chase scenes. Like little kids just love that she stopped a donut. And that there aren't things like that in this one. In this one, there's a lot of explanation and adult relationship kind of stuff about, arguments between Nick and Judy. So I don't know if little kids get that.
Yeah, and with Inside Out 2, it was almost as if they had all the notes from the cutting room floor from the first film, and then they just threw them in there. Like imagination. They covered imagination again, even though they very clearly covered the concept of imagination with Bing Bong.
Yep.
Joppy. There are literally rejected ideas that they throw into Inside Out 2. Like if you watch the special features from the first Inside Out, that they said, no, we're not going to have nostalgia and other things like Schadenfreude. They corrupted their own perfect system from the first film in order to do a sequel. Joppy for 100 Swedish crowns. What about them going to the bathroom or when the snake sheds its skin? They don't show that either, do they? It's just a detriment for yourself when lack of realism in fantastical stories affects you.
Well, Joppy, I agree with you. The one thing that I do want is I want consistency in the world. So once you build the world needs to follow the rules that it's established. In this one, they're actually the snake shedding its skin is a pretty big plot device. So I don't want to spoil it for you, but go check it out.
The question I have is anybody wearing leather boots or have a leather handbag in the movie? Because
and where does that come from?
Yeah.
Mm.
Got some Ed Gein stuff going on in there. Aldo Casabona for 199. True, but who's to say they didn't plan it all? Only one person that I could ask about that, and that would be Bob Iger, who exited his role as the CEO of the company right about the time that someone else needed to be in charge of its decline. Tim Kennedy for $10 forgets Sauron, who is capable of deconstructing the villain Maddow. I'm hoping that she gets a show on MS Now called The Late Now or The Late Maddow, and they just go ahead and give her the sets from CBS's The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, and see how much of that audience from Colbert she just soaks up by people getting confused.
Well, I can't wait for Gutfeld to deconstruct Maddow, and I can't wait to deconstruct what she's up to. I'll give you folks a little quick, explanation of what we're going to talk about. Rachel Maddow, the only way that her show gets in the top cable news channel show listings is that she does it once a week, so she's must watch one time. None of the other shows that are in the top 15 do that, and that's why she can only be on once a week. We'll talk about it.
Joppy for 20 Swedish crowns. Forgo logic for the sake of enjoyment. There are some movies that are like that. Like Back to the Future 1. You can't think about Back to the Future 1 after you've seen what happens with the alternate future in Back to the Future 2. Does that mean that there's an alternate to 1985 that just doesn't have a Marty McFly anymore? So
yeah, or like Minecraft. You just turn your brain off and wait for the cops to show up during the chicken jockey scene.
No, that's you wait for the cops to show up during Monty Python. That's
Jonas, though, in my theater for Minecraft, it really did happen. They turned the lights on and the people had to show up, because the kids were doing stupid stuff. Yeah.
See, it was mostly like there were some teenagers playing like chicken jockey on their phones, like him yelling that, but there was a lot of 10-year-olds in the theater that I went to, and they were almost in tears at how excited they were at Alex showing up at the end.
Once they released the peafowl into my theater, though, I really wondered how exactly they got him in there.
You get that peafowl smell out of your theater. Stephanie Stephanie Mathis 6457 became a Pro Silver. Well, hi Pro Silver.
Welcome aboard. Happy to have you.
Yep. Timothy Kennedy gifted 10 WDW Pro memberships. That's amazing.
10 WDW Pro memberships. Hamsters, you're eating good tonight.
Oh, Joel Miller, you just found the marble in the oatmeal. You're a lucky little boy, because you know why? You get to drink from the fire hose! Okay, you ready? Open wide!
Thank you, Timothy.
And we've got one more super chat, and with this, we'll finally be able to exit. So
well, we're going to send people to Lorne and Apollo. The fun's going to continue right along, Jonas.
That's right. It's going over there, but I'm just saying.
Right here on this channel, Jonas.
If somebody sent in another super chat, it would force us to delay. But
Jonas, I might even go on over to. Oh no, there's another super chat. I may even go over to Lorne and Apollo in a minute.
Can we do that?
Well, yeah, I can. My channel.
Oh, I see.
Way, Jonas,
I see.
Lorne and Apollo are covering Thanksgiving movies and TV shows tonight. The best of and the worst of.
Are there any?
We're going to find out. Well, there's the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving special. And there's the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving special. I'm sure Adam Sandler at some point made some sort of Thanksgiving movie.
I was told that Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is a Thanksgiving movie, but I'll have to say that it enters into the plot about as much as any holiday that he's got to get home for.
Oh, here we go. He's going to tell us Die Hard's not a Christmas movie. Here we go. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, not a Thanksgiving movie because Jonas says so. Here we go.
I mean, for a movie that people were shocked that I hadn't seen it until this week, I expected a lot more out of it. Michelle Marshall for $4.99. I can wait to see Zootopia. Do you mean I can't wait to see Zootopia 2? Excited for going to Wicked for Good. Oh, wait. I don't know why I got all editorial on this. I'm going to say it right. I can wait to see Zootopia 2. Excited for going to Wicked for Good this weekend.
Jonas, just read literally, man. Just read the thing literally. Come on.
Yep. Where did this? It's not even showing up on my screen.
I found it for you. I found it. It was sitting there unread, and I said, we can't let that happen.
John's 96.52 for 10. Speaking of Campbell Soup, did you hear about the exec who was caught on mic slamming their own product and calling it garbage? Fired. Is that pop culture enough? Sort of Cracker Barrel adjacent. Yes. We were having a discussion about fake foods in the Campbell house. That's funny.
Is Chef Boyardee fake food? Is it fake? Is it the edge of fake?
Yeah. I mean, with the canned food too, you've got chemically treated metal in order to keep that from rusting. So there's a lot of complicated stuff there. The BPA's, you just kind of pee it out, but I'm not going to look into it. I'll say that.
Well, there you go. Because those little mini raviolis, especially the overstuffed one, they're so good. So why ruin a good thing, right, Jonas?
Yeah, exactly.
Where's culture where we need him? He'll tell us what the greenhouse equivalent of tiny raviolis is that we should be eating. And I guarantee it's purple potatoes. I guarantee that.
Yep. Silent Washer for $5. Here's a lurker tax. Thank you for paying that for other people since you're no longer a lurker.
Wait a minute, though, Jonas.
Did we miss one?
A review night, and a fox shows up at the end and tells us, lurker tax? Disney's watching us. All right, folks, we're going to Lauren and Apollo. Have a good time over there. No outro today. And if you have not yet got your turkey, I don't know what you're going to do because you don't have time to thaw it. So you better go and pray that you find a fresh one somewhere. And no, not on somebody's property. Jonas, smile and wave, smile and wave. It's